The structure is very important to both the buyer and the seller. You'll often hear the term asset sale versus share sale, one being the company selling the underlying business assets versus the shareholder selling the shares of the entire company. And one of those alternatives is going to be preferred by the buyer or seller, and sometimes they will not coincide. So it's very important to manage the expectations early on in the transaction. One of the more popular incentives available to sellers is the enhanced capital gains exemption. That will allow you to shelter a little over $800,000 of capital gains on the sale of qualifying shares. That translates into $186,000 of tax savings. There are certain tests that the company has to meet, including an asset mix test, and that requires planning in advance in some cases. There is almost always planning to be done ahead of a sale, in some cases several years ahead of a sale. You want to establish a structure that will optimize the tax position of the seller. For example, there are structures available whereby you can bring in other shareholders within the family to multiply the $800,000 capital gains exemption. Determining purchase price will normally involve expert advice. We always encourage our clients to involve our certified business valuators. They will apply different methodologies in valuing the business, which are industry dependent. At the end, you should be getting a range of values that will assist in negotiating your purchase price. From a purchaser's perspective, it's very important to do your due diligence and looking at the history of the company, including contracts, lease contracts, employment contracts. You also want to consider the tax history and look for overly aggressive tax positions taken so that you can determine whether there is any contingent liabilities that you may be inheriting when you acquire that business.